I'm currently at the Takoradi Veterinary Lab. This is where samples of COVID-19 in the Western region will be tested. What this means is that none of the samples from the Western region will be conveyed to Noguchi. All the samples from the Western region will be tested here at the Takoradi Veterinary Lab. And today in Extensive Chat, we have the rare privilege of talking to some of the technicians and doctors here to tell us what exactly it is. And we will have another rare privilege of going into the veterinary lab to see what exactly are the equipment they are using, the test kits and everything to know here. My name is Nana Kwesi Kumsen and this is Extensive Chat. So I'm here in the laboratory, the COVID-19 testing laboratory at the Takoradi Veterinary Lab, and we are here with technician
Abdul Ghaffar
Isaka, and he's going to take us around. We have the rare privilege of entering the lab, and if you could give us the scientific names, because all of us are mentioning the basic terms.
Okay. Actually, we are just right in front of the laboratory. That's the BSL3 laboratory in Western region.
BSL3 laboratory. Okay. What does it mean?
That is biosafety lab. That's the gold standard laboratory for testing highly pathogenic diseases like this COVID and then other pathogenic diseases. So this is currently the entrance to the main lab.
Wow. So we would gladly want to see what's in there. Do I go in first or are you going? Alright, thank you. So there are two entrances where
so this according to how the control panel is operates, when you are entering from the first chamber, you come into the second chamber, you make sure the first door is closed before you open the next door.
Okay.
You don't allow in air medicine. So we are now going into the lab inside. So we are now inside the laboratory where the
test to be done.
The test to be done. So
what,
we have the equipment in here. All these are in use. We have got the biosafety cabinets 1 and 2.
So this is a standard. Is it exactly what Noguchi is using?
Yes, that's what they are using. They have all this there running in Noguchi. Every laboratory has got this standard biosafety cabinet.
So when the samples are brought, where is it sent to?
Yeah, we'll be using this place for extraction. The test process. We have the extraction, the master mix, and then addition of template. So we'll be doing that's the RNA. The RNA extraction we've done here. Then we'll bring it to this cabinet to
the sample.
The sample. We'll do the sampling.
So it comes here first.
It comes here first.
Okay.
It comes here first for extraction. Yeah. Before that, the sample we keep them in the down there for receiving. So when they bring them here, we have what we call sorting and pooling. Sorting and pooling, that is where we put the sample into various groups, then arrange them from various places that they have been taken from. So after the sorting and pooling, then we then bring them to the extraction again center. Where extraction, that's where we take the virus, that's the RNA virus from the sample brought. So that's the test process. So from taking the RNA, then we take it to BSL2.
So this BSL3?
3.
Okay.
Yes. We take it there, that's where we add in other templates for, that's the master mix. So we do the master mixing in there. So from there, then we take it to the PCR machine, where the sample is being read after putting all the reagents, the templates into it. Then we take it to
BSL2.
Then we'll do the master mixing there. Then from there we take it to, there's another manager's room. That's where the sample are being read. After going through all the process, then we'll go there and then do the.
What's that? Why that sound?
That comes from the stabilizer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's the stabilizer.
All right. So what's this? What this really?
So these are the pipettes that we'll be using in the test process. We'll have the pipette in different sizes and then different volumes that we'll be taking. So that's the pipette tips, and then car valves, pipette tips. We incubate in the test process. We have incubation that we'll do when running the test. So that's what we do. There's spinning that you have to do.
There's a spinning.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a centrifuge.
Oh.
That's a centrifuge.
So what does it do? What do you use it for?
We used to spin the sample.
Okay.
That is to make the sample together.
So yourself and others will be testing the samples?
Yes, please.
How ready are you?
Oh, we are ready. Everything is in order. We are just waiting for Noguchi people, some doctors from there to come and add to us, and then
So you have additional staff from Noguchi?
Yeah.
You don't have enough staff strength for this?
Oh, we have enough staff, but we run under them. So before we take off every test, they have to be around there to supervise the test process.
All right. So how many tests can you do in a day?
Basically, you can run 30 samples in a day.
30 samples from the Western region?
300, sorry.
300? 300 a day?
300 in a day.
Wow, 300 samples from the Western. Interesting. Yeah. And this one, which one is this?
That is an incubator.
Okay.
Incubator, we incubate the sample at a particular temperature.
Oh, okay. All right. So what's the temperature, the incubation temperature?
37 degrees. That's normal room temperature.
Oh, okay. But this place is air conditioned.
It's air conditioned.
And what's the temperature now?
16.
It should be at 16. The temperature should be 16. Wow.
16.
These are big machines and equipment.
Yeah.
Wow.
Actually, that was what's the name? The Canadian government.
They donated.
Yes.
Okay, so it was donated by the Canadian government. Wow.
To veterinary service department. So when this outbreak came up, then we saw to it that this facility is good enough for the testing of the COVID-19.
So how long has it been here?
Actually, no less than 5 years.
Oh, okay.
And we have them 3 in Ghana, these particular labs.
Oh, only 3 in Ghana, and Western region has 1.
Western region, Noguchi and Tamale. Noguchi service is not part. This is for veterinary.
Oh, okay.
This is for veterinary.
Okay, Noguchi doesn't even have.
Noguchi doesn't have.
So Western region.
Western.
Tamale.
Accra and Tamale.
Oh, okay.
The same.
So this is state of the art.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
So we use it for highly pathogenic
infections,
rabies, viruses, and then other things we use. So just as COVID came, we saw to it that this is an appropriate place for us to run COVID in.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, we are very proud of you people for this, for being frontliners and all the dedicated time to this. And thank you for taking us around and telling us, even though I'm not sure I can remember some of the names. So where we went was the BSL 3, and we are privileged enough to enter the BSL 2, where technician Gafari is also taking us to the laboratory to show us where it is. So this is where they contain the virus, and we want to know what exactly is done at the BSL2 too. So follow us as we enter the BSL2. Oh, so you open with password. Oh, okay. Oh. So after the virus is contained there, what happens here?
So over there, we receive the sample there. After doing the extraction, then adding the templates and other things there, we've realized that the virus that we're bringing in here are no more strong as compared to how it would be in the whole sample. So after doing the extraction and then washing the virus, getting the RNA, then We then move it to BSL2, where we're doing the master mix. And then it's also done under a biosafety cabinet like this. So this is where we're doing the master mix. After the extraction and sorting.
So it looks very complicated.
Yeah.
How long will it take to test a sample?
Oh, we don't test each sample a day. We put them in group. As I said, we can run like 300 samples
at a go.
Yeah, at a go.
Oh, okay.
The plate has got 96 walls.
Okay.
Out of the 96 walls, we can run 72 on that plate. And so because of the pooling that we've been doing, so that plate can contain like 300 samples on it.
So how long will the 300 samples at a go be done? Is it 2 hours, 3 hours? How long does it take?
The pooling, depending on the test process, maybe if the sorting and pooling will take 2 hours, extraction will take, let's say, 2-3 hours, and then the master mixing and other things, they are just addition of some templates. So maybe in an hour time, all the test process should be done. But in most of the day, if you are only trying the samples, I think within 24 hours, the result should be
within 24 hours. We learned Noguchi is doing overtime because of the overwhelming samples they've been getting. Are we prepared? Are we ready for overtime working here?
We are ready to work, and then we can work more than Noguchi because the test equipment that they have, I think this one is more advanced than what they have there. Yes.
Oh.
And the test method that we've adapted.
What's the name of the test method?
Come again.
The name of the test method you've adapted.
That is the sorting and pooling.
Sorting and pooling.
Sorting and pooling. We pool a lot of samples together, then run them at a go. If it is positive, then you clear. If it is negative, you clear everything off. But when it's positive, we put 10 samples together. When it's positive, then you run them singly. You come out with one particular person that has confirmed the positive.
All right. Yes. Interesting. So BSL2 laboratory.
And then the one next here is where we have the PCR machine. PCR machine that reads the results after everything. So that's the machine there. So after putting the sample and the distance in all, so we take it to the machine for it to read and display the results.
Oh, okay.
For us to read and then interpret the results.
Well,
and import it to the Gucci.
But the BSL3 looks very complicated than here. Here looks a bit simple, and free. What's this? What's this?
It is later. We distill water when we need a sterile water. So we distill water from this machine.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yes.
All right. Technician Gafari, thank you so much for your time, and we've learned a lot today. So we are here with Dr. Odum, and he is the head of the lab, a veterinarian, and we've seen the BSL3, BSL2, but we want to know from you, how ready are we with the testing of the COVID-19 samples in the Western region, which means that none of the samples will be conveyed to Noguchi. We are doing everything here in the region. How ready are we?
The lab is, as you see, the lab is highly resourced with our counterparts from Global Affairs Canada. They provided the 2 labs you are seeing for us through the Ministry of Food and Agriculture. The labs have all the requisite equipment that we need. The personnel are highly trained. They have the technical know-how, the skills. They will be supported by staff from the Ghana Health Service, the reference public health reference laboratory located at Ifekwanta Hospital. So these staff will join our staff here and they will do the testing. Currently, we have received some items in terms of consumables from Noguchi. That is the PCR extraction kits, the PCR master mix kits, and some other few PPEs. So putting everything in place, with the numbers in the Western region, the lab should be able to support in the testing.
Dr. Odum, what's the staff strength of this lab?
Currently, the staff here, we are about 8 people in 8 staff here.
8 staff
and we
for
are
the laboratory.
Yes, and we are getting 5 from the public health lab, regional reference lab at Ifyokwata. So together about 13 staff, and we will be running fully daily basis.
Daily basis.
Yeah.
Noguchi is doing overtime because of the overwhelming samples they receive daily. Are we prepared? Are you prepared? Do you have all those facilities and all those plans in place that should you be overwhelmed by the samples? What are the plans?
Yeah, we have put teams in place for such eventualities. If we are to be overwhelmed with samples, then we have to revert to 24-hour shift. It all requires a bit of support. Overtime working, all those things need to be looked at. But the staff are eager and they are enthused. They want to support the region. They want to support the president. We want to make sure that we make a mark in Western region. Like they say, the best is from the West and the best remain in the West. So we're putting everything together to make sure that Western region, we have our our testing center, and we will match this. We'll be able to deal with the samples as they come in.
How many samples can you test in a day?
Yeah, this is a question that many people ask, and I find it very difficult to answer. But the capacity of the machine is huge. I mean, it's a machine that takes 96 well. So if you are doing pooling, I mean, we're gonna test a lot of sample a day. We have planned to do at least we have planned to do about 300 sample, an average of 300 sample a day.
An average of 300 a day.
That's what we are looking at the moment. But as time goes on, we'll revise our numbers based on the number of samples coming in.
So, Doc, today is the first day of the opening of the lab, 4th May 2020. How many samples have been brought here so far?
Yeah, today we have received 80 samples.
80 samples?
Yes, please.
From the region?
From the region.
So is it limited to only testing in the Western region, or Central region could also bring this?
Yeah. For now, we want to serve the Western region. We don't want Western region to have a backlog of any samples. But as time goes on, we'll include the Central region if they have sample, and
we have the capacity to.
We have the capacity, of course, and we are not overwhelmed with testing. They can bring in their samples and we'll be testing for them as well.
So 80 samples are all from the region?
Yes, please. 80 samples are all from the region.
Wow. Are we to be scared?
No. These are contact tracing.
Okay.
It's a contact from a suspected case. So
okay.
It's not something to be scared of. Yeah, we just want to make sure that the people who got in touch with such person are not infected.
Okay. So do we have any projection? Some countries, they will tell you that they are sure by the close or the end of the month they will be testing about 30,000 samples, and Ghana even had 100,000 sample projection. What's the projection for the Takoradi testing lab?
Yeah, like I said, Takoradi, we have made a plan that we want to do about 300 samples a day. That's turnaround time of 24 hours. So that is what we want to do. It depends, like I said, it depends on a lot of factors. If the consumables are available, if the samples keep coming, if God give us strength, everything in place, we should be able to be doing what we have set as a target.
So we had a rare privilege of entering the lab, the BSL 3, BSL 2, and it appears you don't have any challenges.
No, there are challenges. There are some few minor equipment that we need, like vortex, like mini spin, centrifuges. We need some more consumables are needed. When you start testing, then you realize that you need more consumables. The pipette tips, it gets finished. A day you can use a lot of them. a day. So these are the things that will come after. But once we've started, it is good that we start testing so that we will see the need and we will ask support from individuals and organizations who want to support us in these areas.
So should somebody be ready to help or support in any way, which areas can they support?
Yeah, I mean, basically the PPEs, the
PPEs.
Yes, PPEs, the consumables. These are the things that we will need. And of course, if you motivate us with some refreshment and other things, we'll be very happy with it as well.
All right. So in Second Takrady, even though you are yet to test the sample 80, so I'm sure you tested in a day about.
Yeah, tomorrow by this time we should have
the results should be out. Yeah. So how are you going to release it? Via the regional minister?
There is a standard protocol for the release of the results.
How is it done?
We will follow the same standard protocol. Then regional to the national.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's a standard protocol from Ghana Health Service that they will use from each testing center as a way of reporting. So those protocols will be followed.
Oh, okay. So which areas are in secondly Western region epicenters?
Well, I'm not really
privy to that.
But I heard in Takwa and Shama Elembele, something like that. But I'm not privy to all those areas.
Right. Doc, thank you so much and for your time and all the. So that was Dr. Odum, the head of the COVID-19 testing lab in Second Takrady. And we had a rare privilege of going into the lab and we've seen all there is to know. Second Takrady has the state-of-the-art equipment to test this and more. My name is Nana Kwesi Kumsin and this is Extensive Chat.